Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday morning here in North Texas. It's a kind of a cloudy, mostly cloudy, partly cloudy day, and still a cool breeze blowing. Thankfully, this morning we've had a couple of really cool days. Sweater weather, actually. I think I wore a sweatshirt Sunday morning when we went for coffee. So it's really been nice after we had some 90 degrees. Um, but today, I normally talk about gardening things or decor, and today I'm going to kind of switch gears and go back to a little more of my alienation story regarding my daughter. If you haven't seen a previous video, she estranged from me 7 years ago in May. I went to her graduation from a Bible college in Dallas, and that was actually the last day I saw her or heard her voice. So we're 7 years plus now in, and I've had a lot of time to think about it and think about things that happened before that time. And I wanted to just share a couple of stories, things that happened, and maybe just wonder if any of you out there who are estranged parents, if these are things that you experienced prior to maybe your estrangement. But I'll give you a couple of examples. Uh, I Jordan, my daughter Jordan, she had gone to work for a daycare in a small town near Dallas, and I lived in Dallas at the time, and she was working full-time for the daycare, which meant early mornings to, it was a long day, late in the afternoon or early evening, and with 3 children, that's really hard because there's a room full of kids and not a place to really nap or rest, and so my little grandchildren were young, and I would drive from Dallas, and I would come out and get them and take them to my mom's and give them a break, let them have a little nap, and maybe drive them through somewhere and get a little snack, maybe a little ice cream or something if it's 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and then take them to my mom's house where it was kind of quiet and dark and they could watch a movie and take a nap. So it kind of just broke the day a little bit from being such a long day at daycare. So anyway, I did that a number of times. Oh gosh, for months I did that. And so one day I went to the daycare. I went back and saw my daughter and told her, I'm here to get the kids. And so I got them and got them out in my car, loaded them up in my car, and my daughter comes busting through the front doors of the daycare and proceeds to my car and just starts dragging the kids out, literally, and they're just crying and screaming, and I didn't know what to make of it. I just asked her, I was so shocked. I said, "What are you doing?" And she just proceeded to yank the kids out, and they were screaming and crying. It was one of the many terrible moments like that I've experienced with her and the kids. But it just broke my heart. I was just so upset immediately. And I started following her back to the door of the daycare. I was just trying to find out what was wrong, and I was in tears. I was so upset. And so after she walked in with the children, the director of the daycare, who I had seen every day for months and weeks, she met me at the door and she put her hand in my face and said, "No, you won't bring that in here." And it just stunned me. I hadn't done anything different that day than I had done all the days prior to that. I'm gonna move out of the sun a little bit, that's hot. Because I had been there, like I said, multiple times a week over a period of months. And so I was just stunned. I didn't know really what to make of that. But anyway, I had no choice but to pull away and leave. And it's so hard when you see the little kids being so upset and go through a traumatic moment like that. But I later learned, I think it was that day, I later learned that I called my now ex, and he said yes. I was going to tell him about it, and he said yes. I heard about that. I heard that uh, they caught you on camera upset, and I'm sure in tears and very upset about what happened. And I realized later on that my daughter had set me up, and what she really wanted to get was uh, catch me on camera being angry, where she could uh, make a case about me maybe having a temper, or being an angry person, or being mean to her or whatever. But actually, that wasn't what she got. What she got was someone in tears and very upset about what had happened. So anyway, maybe that's enough to share for today. There's other incidences like that, and it took me time over the years looking back to realize that she tried for a long time to get things against me, and to try to make me look bad, or to tell her friends, see, I told you my mom was bad. I told you my mom isn't a good person, or whatever. Uh, so it's very sad, because I love my daughter, and I know I made many mistakes, but I tried all the time to do my best, and I've changed a lot. I had some years of growing up, and when I was younger, especially, I've done things that I wish I'd done differently, and I do have some regrets. But uh, I did really try to help her and the children, and I did help her and the children a lot. They lived with me, and I worked hard every day trying to take care of them. But anyway, uh, I'm always curious, do other people have any other estranged parents experience things like that? I'd be curious to know. So if you're not an estranged parent, this video isn't for you, and you just really have to be in this situation to understand it, and there's a lot of people that are. So I'd really like to hear from anyone out there, and see if you know of anyone that's in that situation or experienced similar things, or maybe you have. So I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm living my life. I'm having a good life. I've had to go on and kind of have a different life than what I had planned on as a grandmother and someone this age, but it's a good life, and I have peace, which is really good. And so anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope you'll come back, and we'll do more fun things, gardening and that kind of thing. But I appreciate you listening, and I hope you'll come back and visit. Thank you.